This is the Randi Rhodes Show. To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
Okay, I have just about enough time to do this. So this is what I wanted to do at the beginning, but you know me, I go off on, it's not the weave. Because he never makes any sense. We always tie it back to the top. Okay, but I wanted to show you the two closing arguments because I think it's very important. Because you have to choose tomorrow for those of you who didn't vote early, right? And there's a lot of people that haven't voted yet, and they vote on election day. And I just want you to see the closing arguments from each team, let's say, and then you choose which one you think is the best way forward for this here country. Here's Kamala.
America is ready. America is ready for a fresh start, ready for a new way forward, where we see our fellow American not as an enemy, but as a neighbor. I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress. And for anyone who hasn't voted yet, look, first of all, no judgment, but please do get to it. I don't really laugh like that, do I? A little bit. We are ready for a president who knows that the true measure of a leader is not based on who you beat down, it is based on who you lift up. This is someone who is increasingly unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and the man is out for unchecked power. And in less than 90 days, it's either going to be him or me in the Oval Office.
Okay.
Now, Kamala, take my Pamela. The American people want to stop the chaos
and end the drama
with a cool new stepmamala. Kick back in our pajamas and watch a rom Kamala. We have an opportunity in this election to finally turn the page on a decade of politics driven by fear and division. We are done with that, and we are exhausted with it. Your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
Okay, so that's her closing argument. All right. Let's see if we could find his. All right.
The image of our country is terrible. It's terrible. It's a failed country. That's what it is. They view us as a nation in decline, but even worse, they view us as a failed country. Kamala's closing message to America is that she hates you. You know, there's got to be something there. I think she does. I do believe you. The day that I left, I shouldn't have left. I mean, honestly, because we did so well. That white, beautiful white skin that I have would be nice and tan. I got the whitest skin because I never have time to go out in the sun, but I have that beautiful white, and you know what? It could have been beautiful, tan, beautiful. And I have this piece of glass here. But all we have really over here is the fake news, right? And to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news. And I don't mind that so much, because I consider myself to be the father of fertilization. It's a very demonic party. I come in, and here's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
In Lancaster, they found 2,600 ballots, all done by the same hand. In other words, the same exact penmanship, the same hand, the same everything. Your team is very good. I would say the Greek is a seriously good player. Do you agree? And tell me, who has more Greek in him, the Greek or me? I think we have about the same. A little birdie told me that we're leading in New Jersey. What's that all about?
You're not.
We love New Jersey. And if you don't vote, you're stupid. You're stupid. You watch. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so much fun. It'll be nasty a little bit at times, and maybe at the beginning in particular, but it's going to be something.
Okay, you choose. Do you know who he's talking about? The Greek? I had no idea what he's talking about. Really, truly, I don't. No ballots were all done in the same hand. Okay, that just didn't even happen. New Jersey, he is not leading in New Jersey. He is not the father of fertilization, whatever the F that means. The father of fertilization. What does that mean? I don't know what that. And it is like that movie. That we were talking about at the beginning.
Oh, Natural Born Killers?
It's just like that with I Love Mallory. Remember that? I Love Mallory, where Rodney Dangerfield is playing an abusive father who is sexually molesting Juliette Lewis's character, Mallory, and they set it to a laugh track. That's what that was like as he's talking about executing the media in front of a North Carolina crowd who, I mean, honestly, the people that he's talking to now, they can't be more than 17 years old. And he's giving fellatio to a microphone and wondering, why do women hate him? Is he suggesting that that is the new method of birth control? The father of fertilization there, speaking from experience? I don't even know what that was. Why is he filleting a microphone and not expecting women to be angry? Very freaking angry. Holy crap, man. It's just, and people are just so over it. They're just so disgusted. They're exhausted. They're like, this is not the caliber of person that America can produce who could or should ascend to leadership positions of any kind. And, you know, the courts of law in this here country agree with that. How do I know? Well, his charity's been shut down for fraud. He can't even run a charity. His university's been shut down for fraud. He's not even allowed to run a university. His corporation has been, cited for 34 counts of fraud, and they can't do business in New York. He can't run a company. But everybody thinks he's this great businessman, this great charitable being, this great educator. He is a fraud. He is a clown. He is a con man. He's a festering, oozy, pussy gravy sore. He needs to be lanced from our collective memories, and we just need to get on with it. So you choose. Of course, it's your choice. I can't do that for you.
I can't get the image of a insane, sycophantic birdie with a MAGA hat telling him that he's leading in New Jersey out of my head.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, the people around him are so scared to tell him the truth that they just don't. They just don't. They know that if they tell him the truth, that they will be fired. And this is why we're in the bottom of the barrel looking for people to staff his administration. God forbid it becomes one. God forbid. Because there's no one left. I mean, you want to see the bottom? You want to see what the bottom of the barrel looks like? Okay. I'll play you this. I'll play you. Let me see. This guy. Okay, so this guy was, believe it or not, in charge of the Office of Management and Budget in the last Trump administration. Not a particularly sexy job, OMB. You know what OMB does? OMB looks at pieces of legislation like, the ACA, and they score it. They say how much it would cost to do it and how much of it would be paid for by the methods in the legislation. So, for instance, if it was a tax thing, then they would measure the amount of tax collected versus the cost of administering the program and see if it paid for itself, right? Well, this was the guy who's in charge of doing that. Here he is.
We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. We want, when they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work. because they are increasingly viewed as the villains. We want their funding to be shut down so that the EPA can't do all of the rules against our energy industry because they have no bandwidth financially to do so.
He's a good-looking guy, ain't he? That's Russell Vogt, okay? And Russell Vogt is going to do everything he can to protect Exxon, okay? Everything he can to protect the Koch brothers. Everything he can to protect big oil and gas, who, by the way, are making record profits. Record profits. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.